Welcome back to another episode of the AJ Sports Podcast. I am one half, Anthony Carboni, and to my right is Justin Vilche. Oh my goodness, I sound like fucking shit. My nose is plugged up. I got sick on Thanksgiving. The fuck kind of shit is that? But we're back. We're out here. We're still recording. No issues. Week one of the NHL just went down. Justin and myself were live streaming last week's game. Hopefully, you guys caught that with Montreal Toronto. What an absolute beauty of a stream that was. We enjoyed that. A 1-0 Montreal Canadiens win. Definitely not what I expected. I definitely was hitting the over all day because I'm like, Montreal Toronto, they're going to go over at least 3 goals. 1-0 win for Montebo shutout, but we'll get into that in a bit. We got to say what's up to Justin. How you doing?
Good, bro. Hockey's back. A lot of weird hockey being played right now, but we'll get into that. But yeah, everything good, bro. Just vibing. Glad hockey's back. Also got playoffs for the MLB and shit, so everything good.
Yeah, weird hockey, indeed. I mean, let's before we get into that, we have to preview the Pacific Division. We'll go quickly with this one. Uh, we did the Atlantic on live stream. We're not gonna go into depth, but let's just rank each team, or just say who we have making playoffs. I think we'll just quickly go over that because there's a lot to discuss with week one. So, you want to go first with your Pacific Division rankings and explain just a little bit?
Yeah, I can do that.
But before you say anything, has this week changed anything that you've had previously,
Um,
or could it affect like what you originally
yeah,
had?
actually, yeah, it has. Because
Yeah.
my God, it has. My God. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna just start from last place and then go to first quickly. Okay, so last place, I'm gonna go the San Jose Sharks. I mean, they're just the bottom feeders, and like especially with now Celebrini injured for we don't know how long yet.
Already.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate news. So, but I mean, they were gonna be bottom feeders anyway. So last place. Um, Seventh, I'm gonna go the Anaheim Ducks. Yeah, they started off 1-1 so far, but I mean, again, they're just not great. Gibson's injured, and I mean, can you really rely on Dostal throughout the season? No. So yeah, and they're still rebuilding and upcoming. So seventh place. Sixth place, I'm gonna go the Seattle Kraken. Kraken are 1-2 so far. Not really impressed by them at all. Like they did get a win in Minnesota in a shootout, but I mean, it's whatever. They're kind of just mid. Like they're pretty much the definition of mid. The Seattle Kraken. And Vince Dunn's also injured, so we don't really know as to what the issue is with there. He might come back today, but we don't know. So I have them sixth place. Fifth place, I'm gonna have the Calgary Flames. The Flames have really surprised me
I
so
know.
far. Rasmus Anderson has been doing extremely well, along with Mackenzie Weegar. The offense has done well. Wolf, I mean, he's been great so far. So they're kind of starting off 3-0. Scoring goals for fun. Huberto's back, sort of. I mean, he's been popping off for the past week. So, I mean, it could be doing this for Johnny Hockey. But I mean, hey, a Flames playoff push is probably on the horizon. So I got them fifth. I'm gonna go the Kings fourth. The Kings are really struggling here. Yeah, they have 2 OTLs and a win. They haven't lost a regulation, but they are missing Drew Doughty badly, considering that 8-7 loss yesterday to the hands of the Ottawa Senators in an absolute barn burner of a game that was. Kemper looks shaky. Defense looks shaky. They have offense, but I mean, there's certain guys that just aren't clicking yet, like a Quinn Byfield and Trevor Moore. So they kind of need them to step up. But I have them fourth. Third, I'm gonna go the Canucks. The Canucks have 2 OTL so far, but I mean they'll probably step it up anyway. Like, and now, and I know Seelovs is playing, but I think when Demko comes back, which I think he will, I think they'll be fine. So I have them third. Second place, the Edmonton Oilers. I'm not gonna count them out yet, considering how last year they started 2-9-1, and they made it to the final and somehow finished. I think it was first in the Pacific Division.
Second. Second.
Second, right? Yeah. So I knew like they've scored 3 goals in the past 3 games and have conceded 15. But I mean, this is exactly what happened last year, so I'm not really worried with the Oilers. It's only a matter of time before they get red hot again. So you have them second place, and first the Golden Knights. Wow, the Golden Knights 3-0, and they kind of just look like a force to be reckoned with. Mark Stone, as long as he stays healthy, the Golden Knights will be the most dominant team in the Pacific Division. The goaltending has been good so far. Samsonov looked great against the Ducks a couple days ago. In Hill has looked decent. Defense has looked decent. Yeah, I kind of just like a whole. Everybody just has to stay healthy in Vegas. If they stay healthy, they're gonna win the Pacific Division. So as long as there's no injuries, they'll be perfectly fine. So yeah, recap: Sharks last, Ducks seventh, Kraken sixth, Flames fifth, Kings fourth, Canucks third, Oilers second, and Golden Knights first.
Yeah, I basically have the exact same order except for one, so I'll quickly explain mine. So I got the Sharks last. I mean, it's going to just be a better year for them from last year, but do I really see them doing numbers or doing good things besides, getting Celebrini's game up? No, they're definitely not making playoffs. They could go for another lottery pick. Anaheim 7. Like I said, it's just like you said, it's not the time yet. They will be there soon. You really want to see what's going to happen with Zegras. That's the guy I'm really going to be watching this year on Anaheim, considering that there's been talks of this guy getting traded. Maybe he's just not that guy. He can't do it yet. He can't compete with all these stars, and we've seen it. He hasn't really been doing anything for this team besides hitting a couple Michigan goals. Good for you. Um, Seattle Kraken at 6. They don't look too great. Like you said, the definition of mid. Mid goaltending. They did sign Joey Daccord to an extension of 5x5. I guess we'll see how he does over there. Philip Grubauer, not so great. I mean, that forward
Yeah.
group, I mean, they're really lacking like some kind of star, in my opinion. I don't think they have that. And I think just mediocrity is just perfect definition for this Seattle Kraken squad. Number 5, Calgary Flames, who could compete for the playoff spot. Very surprised of their start. I mean, they what a comeback against the Canucks in Game 1. We're gonna go into that a bit later, but they're looking really strong right now. Guys like
Yep.
Huberdeau are finally getting back into maybe their form, or at least if Huberdeau gets to like maybe 70% of what he used to be, the Flames could actually do something here. I like who was it that I'm thinking of? Who was it? Connor Zary. Connor Zary's playing really well. That's the guy I've been looking at. The defense, Uyghur and Anderson have really been, have been really good. Uyghur is, a guy who had around 13 goals last year, if I'm not mistaken, which is pretty high for a defenseman, especially a guy who's, more of a defensive player anyway, and he's big, right? So for him to continue his scoring as he did last year is pretty impressive. So I have the Flames at 5, not making playoffs, but being right there, just very close. Number 4, LA Kings. I think the Kings are. I mean, we're gonna go into yesterday's fucking game, whatever that was, shit
Uh,
show. But if the Kings really want to do something here, they really need to get goaltending. The Kings have not had good goaltending in since Quick left. Like it's actually been really bad. So it could be the same thing this year where they're gonna have to rely on like their offense and their defense. I mean, their goaltending. Like Kemper. Like oh my goodness, it's just
it's just bad.
it's
It's
so
just bad.
it's so bad, and I think they'll be like they can outscore that issue. It's just I don't know how, and they can get some saves from Kemper. It's only a matter of if whoever they play in the first round, maybe it'll be the Edmonton Oilers again. If that happens, they're getting fucking smoked. I don't see them beating any of these top 3 teams that I have here in the first round. So I think they'll be better than Calgary because Calgary is more of a rebuilding stage. But I don't know, man. I'm starting to consider switching those 2 teams in my picks, but I'm gonna play it safe. It's only a couple games in, so I'm gonna say the Kings will finish fourth. Number 3, the Vancouver Canucks. It's gonna be a bit of a regression year for sure. Um, Concerned in net as well. Seelovs in that Calgary game was getting beat all up high and from way out. It was really bad. You're for the Canucks to try and do what they did last year. They're really gonna need Demko back. Kevin Lankinen a decent backup, right?
Yes.
Seelovs, I mean, he was good in the playoffs for a bit, but watching him play recently, I mean, they did lose in the shootout twice, but the Canucks have been giving up like a lot of goals, especially in that Calgary game, which should have been saves. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the Canucks finish third. I think third is a fair number. uh, Number 2, yeah, I'm gonna stick with my original thing. I'm gonna go with Vegas in number 2. They are looking really good right now, 3-0 as we speak. I thought they were going to have a bit of a regression, losing Marchessault, losing Logan Thompson, losing a lot of like good pieces, but you know, they look really really good. Samsonov, like you said, has looked good. Aiden Hill's also looking very good. Jack Eichel leading the league in points right now with 7. They look really good. Barbashev also looking really good. Mark Stone, like the team just looks really gross. And look out for Vegas to take over the West this year because a lot of these juggernauts that we used to see, like the Colorado Avalanche, for instance, are losing their speed, and Vegas is just right there competing. But do I think they're going to be better than my number one, the Edmonton Oilers? No. The Edmonton Oilers, I still think, can finish number one in the division. Horrible, unacceptable start, 0
Yeah.
3, but it's the first week. It's not time to hit the panic button yet. I think the Oilers are going to find their groove pretty soon, probably tonight against the Philadelphia Flyers. I think they're going to beat them tonight, but I think Edmonton's still going to go at number one. They're gonna like McDavid after losing the final. I think he's gonna be a different beast this year. Now 3 games in, he's only has like 2 assists, but I still have faith that these guys are gonna pull it out, like get out of the gutter like pretty fast. And it starts tonight. I think it's a brand new week. Canadian Thanksgiving's over. I think that the Oilers are gonna go on a little bit of a run here starting tonight. But enough of that. That's our Pacific Division preview. It wasn't long enough, but it's the weakest division in hockey, so whatever. I think we'll leave it at that. Let's go into week 1 of the NHL. I want to start off on want to talk about the good or the bad first.
Let's do bad.
Okay. So, let's start with the bad. I put a couple teams in each category. Some of the other teams I just left because they've either played 1 or 2 games. But let's start with the bad. Well, not necessarily bad, but like not like there's really bad, there's not too worried. Let's go with the really, really bad first. So, I mean, we just talked about them, the Edmonton Oilers. An 0-3 start to start the year after going down 3-0 in the Stanley Cup final to the Florida Panthers. Come back, tie it up 3-3, and lose 2-1 in a very close Game 7. What is the mindset heading into this year? Well, we know we have a great team. We can run it back. We can get to the Stanley Cup final once again and probably win it. They have the finals and the finals experience. They know what it is or know what it takes to lose, I guess. Or if I'm even wording that correctly, they know how it feels to lose. And, I expected a very strong start for this Edmonton squad. They had a pretty light schedule, too. If I'm not mistaken, they played the Jets, who they probably should have beat.
Should have.
Or maybe even like if you lose, at least let it be close. And then you have your Chicago and Calgary back to back at home, by the way. So 3-game homestand. You should have won at least 2 out of those games, 2 out of 3 of those games. Game 1 absolutely gets shut the fuck out by the Winnipeg Jets. I don't understand what that was. McDavid, Hyman, Draisaitl, everyone held to 0 points. Then Saturday's contest against the Blackhawks, another unacceptable game. They just couldn't find the back of the net on Peter Mrazek, mind you. I don't know how the fuck they couldn't score on him. And Bedard just took over that game. He had his first goal of the year. Then the next night, Battle of Alberta, you're playing against the Flames in your own building. You go up 1-0. You get a goal called back, or maybe I think it was even 2 goals called back, and they couldn't recover from that. And then the Flames scored 4 unanswered in the back half of the second period, and then in the third period to take a 4-1 win. Dude, what's going on with the Oilers, bro?
Um, Pretty shitty goaltending, I will say. My God, Stuart Skinner is like, I don't know what it is, bro. Like, he was so good last year in the playoffs when they needed him most, and then now he just like wants to be trash. The forward core, I don't know if it's because they added maybe like too many guys, but it's not even too many guys because they lost a couple guys and then they just replaced them with Victor Arvidsson and Jeff Skinner. So I don't really know as to what the issue is there. Defense, I mean, you're playing Darnell Nurse and Travis Durbin on the second pair. I mean, if that just doesn't scream lack of defense, I mean, and just conceding goals for fun, then I don't know what that second pair is like yelling at you because my God, Dermott and Nurse on the second pair. I mean,
Mind you,
offense has
Nurse makes 9.25 or $9.5 million a season.
playing with former Leaf Travis Dermott. Like I don't know if this is like they're just doing this on purpose because they saw what happened last year and then they made it all the way to the final. I don't know if it's like teams are figuring them out again. I don't know what this problem is, but like it's just awful. Like you lose to your arch rivals, okay? You lose to the Chicago Blackhawks, who are not fantastic, who are still in the rebuild mode. You lose to the Winnipeg Jets. Who the fuck is Winnipeg? It's just unbelievable as to what is happening. Um, I think, I mean, Stuart Skinner will probably bounce back eventually. We don't know when, but I mean, he did this last year, so he'll probably do it again. But yeah, it's just a whole bunch of like, I don't know if they're feeling the effects of the loss from last year. I think that's what it is because like that could really take a mental toll
Wait,
on the team.
so to bounce back from losing, you just lose more? I don't understand that.
Well, I mean, there's something wrong because like McDavid only has 2 points. Hyman has no points in 3 games. Draisaitl has like what 1 point. Bouchard has no points. Like
Fucked up my
I think it
fantasy
could
week. They fucked up my fantasy week. I
yeah,
had
mine
McDavid.
too.
I had McDavid and I had Hyman. And McDavid only got 2 assists. Hyman, you fucking shit. You're fucking shit,
Bro,
buddy. What the fuck is happening? I need a huge bounce back game from Edmonton today because this is getting ridiculous for fantasy. Because I would have won last week had I had fucking McDavid and Hyman actually doing well. 0-3. Are you fucking kidding me? You had the entire fucking country behind you 4 months ago, 5 months ago. All of a sudden, you're just fucking shit. Like, what the fuck is this? I expected a way better Oilers team. A way better Oilers team and a better start right out of the gate. Unacceptable that they haven't won a single game yet. Tonight, they need a fucking win. Who is in net for the Flyers? Fucking Ersson? Bro, if you don't score at least 5 goals tonight, you're like, I don't know what to say. You need to win. You need to absolutely demolish these fucking Flyers today. And because they came off of a fucking loss to Calgary. They beat the Canucks, whatever. You have to beat the Flyers tonight. You have to beat these guys and get back on track.
Yeah, like this is like it's not a must win because I guess we're still early, but this is a game that like they kind of have.
You
to
need to
win
win this. This is a must win, dude. You cannot go 0-4. You need to win this game. You cannot fall behind this early. You need a good playoff spot because if you get the second or third spot and you play the Canucks or Vegas in the first round, dude, it's gonna be hard. You need that. If the Oilers want an easy matchup in the first round, dude, go win the division. You need to win the division because you'll get either LA or Calgary, which you probably beat in a best of 7. You're not this Edmonton Oilers squad right here. If they play Vegas, it's going to be a really tough series, especially with the way Vegas is playing, and even Vancouver, man. Last year went to Game 7. Same thing could happen yet again this year if they play in a playoff series. So Edmonton needs this win tonight to kickstart this fucking Pacific Division title run.
Yeah, I mean, I mean they kind yeah.
It's
kind of right.
No, they need to win. They cannot start 0-4. They cannot start 0-4. They need to win this game.
Yeah, like how do you lose? Like how does this happen 2 years in a row, and then you lose in the final, Game 7, and then you just start off the season
you
like
gotta
this?
remember
Like,
too. You got to remember too. They haven't even played teams like the Stars, the Bruins, the Panthers, the Devils. They played the Jets, who are like decent. They're all right. They played the Chicago Blackhawks, who are rebuilding. They played the Flames, who are rebuilding, and they're playing the Flyers, who are kind of rebuilding. So you should have won. You should have won. Like you should win these games, but they're not.
Yeah.
So it all starts tonight. We'll see what happens, but I think Edmonton really need this win here, and I think they're going to do it. There's no way they start
I think
0-4.
they get the win tonight though. They should. I mean, come on now. 0-4? Really? No. I think they'll get the win, and this will kickstart their season.
Let's move on to your second favorite team, the Colorado Avalanche. Holy shit. These guys stink.
Bad.
Yesterday really did it for me. A 6-2 loss to the New York Islanders. Who's on the
yeah.
Who plays for the New York Islanders? Like Barzell, Duclair, Nelson. That's it?
Dobson.
I mean,
Sorokin.
The most boring team in the Sorokin's first game back, I believe, too. And he fucking puts on a show.
Yeah, he was ridiculous last night. My God, bro, it wasn't 4 Giev yesterday. It was like 6 Giev, 5 Giev. Like that was brutal. Georgiev cannot save a fucking beach ball. I mean, it's just like teams will just shoot for fun at him because they know
And they'll
anything will go
score.
into the
And
mouth.
they'll score.
Oh my god. I think they've conceded like 20 goals in 3 games. That's almost a 7 goal per game average that you're conceding. Like that is absolutely ridiculous. The offense is kind of stagnant. Again, they're missing. We talked about this before the season started. They're missing depth. Duran is injured. Lehkonen is injured. Nichushkin's injured. Devon Tays was injured yesterday, and it's just mind blowing. Like they claimed Capo Kakinen off waivers last week, but let's just be for real. Like, is Kapanen really gonna come in and just randomly solve these goalie problems? Like, no. The goaltending has been a huge issue, and it's been like this for the past 2 years now. Because last year Georgiev was awful. He was conceding four. That's what Georgiev. He was conceding 4 goals a game. This year he's already started off trash, and Union, their backup, has just been as bad. Like he's fucking trash, right? Like he can't save a beach ball either. Core, I mean, they just kind of look like they kind of just look slow. Like there's not like the fast paced Av that we've seen in the past. Where they'll just cycle the whole time and they'll just go zone to zone. Like they just kind of look slow and stagnant. Even Kale McCarr doesn't look like his normal self. He doesn't look like that fast Kale McCarr as we've seen in the past. Um, yeah, it's kind of just all kind of just been shit. Watching the Avs play, and I mean, you kind of need a save at some point, and Georgiev is not giving you that, so it kind of probably brings the team down. Um, yeah, where do the Avs go from here? I mean, they need a fucking goalie. Because bro, Georgiev, oh my god, that's not good. It's not great. And they also need depth. They sent Ivan down. I'm not really sure why. But I mean, they kind of made some questionable decisions sending players down. But I mean, we'll see. They play the Bruins tomorrow in Colorado, so we'll see if they can actually get their first of the season. Although it will be tough against this Bruins squad. But yeah. I don't know. We'll see if they get their first win, but it's not looking pretty.
Yeah, I mean, for a team that's, trying to, well, was supposed to be a dynasty after they won 2022, clearly has not been the case. Yeah, an 0-3 start for another cup contending team. It's not great. We saw last year with the Oilers, and we discussed the Oilers, but yeah, Colorado. I mean, looking at their bottom six, it's not looking great. They're lacking depth. They need to rely on, like, if they can get saves, it could help them a bit. But man, the depth on the bottom six depth for the Avalanche isn't great. Now these guys are probably like, McKinnon's got to be like fuming at this point. I mean, he doesn't have one of his left wingers in Lehkonen or Drouin. He doesn't have Nichushkin. It's literally McKinnon's just gonna, and Moose are just gonna have to put this team on their backs and try and push this team forward. But I don't know if you have Alexander 4, 5, 6, 7 Giev in net, allowing 4+ goals a game. You're not gonna stand a chance to win. You can't outscore a bad goalie, and we're seeing that right now as we speak with this team. It's really bad, but I mean, if they can get some of their guys back, sure. I feel like if the Avalanche, like even with this team, if they just had like if Gorgiev was playing like the way I don't know, Shesterkin was playing right now, or like even Montembeau, if they were just getting like some decent goaltending, I think they wouldn't be getting blown out of their own building by the fucking Islanders. At least the game would be close. But right
Yeah.
now, if I'm Jared Bednar, I'm like stressing because this is supposed to be my guy here, and I don't know. He's looked really bad. Like even coming into this year from last postseason and regular season, he's not looked great. And they should have. And honestly, honest to God, they really messed up not targeting Jake Allen at the trade deadline last year. That would have been a great fucking help for them because we heard rumors of that happening. The Devils swiped and got him, but I really think they're missing a decent goaltender like Allen who could come in as a backup, maybe even take over the starting position so Gorgiev could find his game and settle things down for the Avs. But that doesn't look to be the case. They have Anyonin, who a young goalie who has
Also trash. Like
who's also trash and has to rely on Gorgiev to not fuck up, which is crazy as crazy it is to say, but Yeah, the Avalanche goaltending is just really, really bad. And who knows, man? They got a tough game against the Bruins tomorrow, who looked pretty decent, especially because they have a fucking goalie that can make saves. So the Avalanche could honestly start the season 0-4, and I think the panic button will start to commence if we can't get a couple wins from these guys or saves from Alexander Forgia.
Yeah, no, even on Twitter, like Avs fans are already stressing. They're like, "Can we send Georgiev down to the AHL along with the guys that we sent down today?" Like, it's just awful. I don't really know where they go from here. Like, you need a goalie. Like, you need saves, and he's not giving you that. And Union's not going to give you that unless Kakinen can come in and give you saves. I don't fucking know, man. Like, it's just complete shambles. Like there's only so much that McKinnon, Rantanen, and fucking Makar can do. Like it's a team sport. Like you can't just rely on those three guys. So I don't know. They just need a goalie. Then they'll be fine, and some depth, and they'll be perfectly fine. But we'll see.
We'll see, indeed. Not necessarily shit, do I consider these guys bad? Okay, let's start with let's go with the Florida Panthers. I'll consider them in a little bit of a worried
Oh
category.
no, 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 no. I'm not considering them bad.
Okay, well, that's the thing. The Avs and Oilers for me are like the really bad. I guess we'll go with mid. I guess I'll put these guys in the mid category. We'll put Florida in
It's
the
only
mid.
because has gone injured. Kachuk hasn't played.
We'll put them in the mid category. My mistake. We'll talk about the Florida Panthers. They did, like you just said, Kachuk and Barkov went down with injuries. They did win their home opener. Actually, the only two games that they have won, they're 2-2, have been against the Boston Bruins. So we'll go into the Florida Panthers quickly. They look okay, considering that we thought that they're going to have a Stanley Cup hangover. They win their home opener. They lose to the Sens in their home opener. Pretty obvious. I mean, Ottawa's, they got Allmark's first game, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Panthers, I mean, without Barkov and Kachuk ended up beating the Bruins again last night at TD Garden. So they're getting decent goaltending as well. So yeah, Florida Panthers not looking too bad. They're at a 500 record right now. So I had nothing to really be stressing over besides the
In the
hurricane
sense,
besides the Hurricanes, the actual Hurricanes.
yeah.
There's nothing really to be stressing for these Florida Panthers teams.
Yeah, no, no, they're fine. I mean, missing Barkov, Chuck. I mean, they lost to the Sens like again,
And then the
and they lost to the
Sabres.
Sabres. I mean, the Sabres were gonna win at some point, right? Like, this was only a matter of time if the Sabres were gonna win a game. So, like, if Panthers fans really shouldn't be stressing at all. Like, your two wins were against the Boston Bruins. Like, then they played tonight against the Columbus Blue Jackets, who I can see the Panthers losing to because it's the Blue Jackets' first home game, and they want to win for Johnny Gaudreau and this whole storyline. So, I could see the Jackets winning tonight, but again, Panthers missing like their top two players on the squad, so it's whatever. Like, they'll be fine. It's okay.
Yeah, there's not really many like good like really like good or bad teams right now. We're just gonna talk about like the highlights of most of these guys anyway. Um, uh, Bruins, they're okay right now. They're fine. Don't want to talk about them. Um, let's get into like more of like I guess we'll stay in like kind of like the mid category. Let's talk about the Sens.
Oh, hold on. Oh, Sens. No, I don't even want to talk about the Sens. Okay, they got lucky yesterday because Kemper sucks and because the Kings don't have Drew Doughty. Okay, let's calm down. The Sens are not nice. Okay, you played an injury-riddled Kings team with a shit goalie. Okay, now the Sens don't have Olmark. He's injured, and you have fucking Forsberg and Matt Sogards. Okay, you Sens guys are not good. Okay, you guys can beat the mediocre Kings. It's fine. I don't care. Sens are not a good team.
Okay, I guess we'll move on from them. Um, we'll talk about our teams here before we get into the really good Leafs and Habs. We'll talk about your Leafs first. 2-1. Tough first loss to the Canadians, 1-0. But the next night, they bounced right back and beat Sheldon Keefe and the New Jersey Devils, handing them their first loss. A lot of depth scoring. The new guys coming in. Pacioretty, Steven Lorentz, first goals on the year. And as soon as he comes in, first game, Bobby McMatthews. Bobby McMatthews. He scores his first goal of the year in his first game after apparently, according to Craig Berube, or Berube, however you say it, said he didn't really look great in camp and he wasn't on the opening night roster. Revo comes out after that tough loss to the Canadians, and then Bobby McMatthews in his first game scores a goal. So, what do we think of the Toronto Maple Leafs? Wait, let me also say they did beat the Pittsburgh Penguins in their home opener, which was pretty obvious, I would say. And
Yeah.
yeah, Stolars looks really good, making decent saves.
Say it.
Um,
Hey.
the one thing I want to quickly say is it concerning that Matthews has no goals or any points in the first three games? What is your breakdown on the Leafs right now, and should you be concerned with Matthews?
I'm not concerned with Matthews because I saw the stat where the last time he was pointless in 3 games, he had 60 goals and 106 points. So I know he'll be fine. Again, most of these stars this year have started off slow, so I'm not worried about Matthews. He's gonna click it, gonna get going again. The power play has been fucking awful, and I saw yesterday they're switching it up.
OEL.
Nice,
OEL will be
Nice
on the
and
power play.
first PP because Morgan Riley is being paid and he's been here 11 years and he can't fucking run a first power play unit. So OEL has come in and we will see how he does. The Leafs have looked good. I think they've they went to the fucking Prudential Center in New Jersey. They beat up Sheldon Keefe. We showed them how it's done, which was a great win. Second night of back to back. And then we beat the Pittsburgh Penguins. A couple days off now. They're back tomorrow against the LA Kings.
Which we are going to, by the way.
We will be there. We play a Kings team who are mediocre. We should be beating the Kings tomorrow. Although Trevor Moore goal is just in the books. Moore's going to score for the LA Kings.
Sure. Of course.
It's just going to happen.
It's a lock.
But yeah, the Leafs, like, I'm pretty happy with how they started. Like, they got unlucky. Montembeault stood on his head in game one. We have 47 shots. Montembeault just had a phenomenal game. It happens, whatever. On his head. But, for the first 3 games, I can't really complain other than the fucking power play because our power play fucking is atrocious. But other than that, like, the depth looks good. I'm ready. Nicey got his first goal. Patches got his first goal. Lorentz got his first goal. And we're all doing this without Matthews really doing much. So as long as we can just keep calm, let Stolars play his game. Let's not bring too much media attention to him. Just let him focus on himself. Just let him do his thing. Okay, get the power play clicking. I'm not gonna hate. I'm gonna enjoy my Berube hockey. Okay, just stay calm, win tomorrow, and let's take it one game at a time. Just fix the power play a little. Just fix it a little bit. 5-on-5 defense a little bit, and that's it. Because there was new lines. There's new D pairs at practice today, so we'll see how that goes in the game tomorrow. Just a little bit power play, a little bit defense. That's it.
Yeah, Nylander's going to be out tomorrow. Apparently, there's an illness going around the room. Maybe I caught whatever the fuck they had. But there's an illness going around the dressing room. So Tavares is out on Saturday. Nylander's not going to be playing tomorrow. Berube already confirmed. Yeah, the Leafs are looking good. And honestly, I'm going to say it now. Joseph Woll, you are not going to be the guy. You're never going to be the guy. It's over because Justin and I were about to watch the game expecting to see a Joseph Woll start. First time at the Bell Center. And he apparently already gets placed on the IR. Already. The season has even started. And this motherfucker is on the IR. Stolars is going to take the net, and he's going to keep the net for this Toronto Maple Leafs team. Stolars is looking really good. He only gave up 1 goal against Montreal and then beat Pittsburgh on Saturday night. I'm pretty sure he's going to get the start tomorrow as well because Woll is going to be out for a fucking whatever week and a half, whatever. I can't trust Joseph Woll anymore to stay healthy. And it's not great. It's really not great. Stolars last year had a really good goals against average. He had a really good save percentage. Even though he was the backup, he still had, I think his record was like 16 wins, like 6 losses or 7 OT losses or whatever. So he honestly, never got the opportunity to be a starting goalie. And it looks to me that he's doing a fantastic job and could be the starting goalie that the Leafs are looking for. Joseph Woll, you're not going to be the guy. It's just, you're too injury prone. It's not really your fault, but like, at some point you gotta fucking manage to stay healthy because if you're a goalie, like the goalie is the most valuable position in hockey, and if you're always gonna get injured, man, you're like nobody's gonna trust you to play in high endangered games like Game 7 of like Stanley Cup Final. Are you gonna stay healthy throughout a whole playoff series? No, that's definitely not possible considering we didn't even play a game yet, and bro already is on the IR. Like we didn't even play a game yet, dude. How are you already injured? You played a couple preseason games and that's it. You stretch out your groin a little bit. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? So I'm liking the early signs from Stolarz already being able to be the number one guy. As for Austin Matthews, yeah, he hasn't scored a goal. Yeah, he hasn't gotten an assist. Okay, it's 3 games in, and the Leafs are still winning. So what's there to complain about? He's still probably gonna hit 60 goals, even if he has a little bit of a regression year due to the fact that Berube's style of hockey is different. Nobody's going to care as
So
long as they win hockey games. Who gives a shit if Matthews gets 40 goals, 50 goals, 60 goals? As long as they win hockey games and they look like a good team, I don't really see the problem. I really don't see the problem. If the way Berube hockey is played in Toronto involves less point production from your top guys, but requires a better defensive game, and the team wins hockey games, if I'm a Leafs fan, I'm not really going to care. If they play a bit boring hockey and they win hockey games, who gives a shit? The Islanders been doing it for, I don't know, since they entered the league, yet they're still, nobody fucking cares about them. So we'll see what happens. Toronto's looking really, really good so far. 2-1
yeah.
record. They do play the Kings tomorrow. A very vulnerable Kings team, considering that their starting goalie gave up 8 goals, 8 fucking goals to the Senators on a random Monday Thanksgiving in Canada. So I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Toronto should get the win. But knowing Leafs, knowing the Maple Leafs, having the 2 days off, and having Trevor Moore come into your whole back to his former team, they might lose that game, but Justin and I will be there tomorrow. We may or may not do a quick little live stream while we're at the game. We'll see about that. But we are going to be there. We will be there. Even though I'm a little bit sick, I should be fine for tomorrow. But we are definitely going to be there at the game tomorrow. So we will see what happens tomorrow with the Leafs. Leafs fans, if Matthews doesn't have a goal yet, he's probably going to get one tomorrow. Guaranteed. Um, my Habs looking decent, not bad. A lot of great
Yeah.
things to take away. So they start off with the win, obviously that we live stream. They go to Boston the next night, and you pointed this out to me as well. Even though you're a Leafs fan, they didn't play a bad game against the Bruins, even though they did lose 6-4. A lot of great bright spots. Obviously, Montembeau game 1 recorded a shutout, the highest saved shutout in opening night history. Shout out to Montembeau for that. Lane Hudson is a point per game player. He's looking really good. So yeah, they lose to the Bruins 6-4. That's whatever. They're 1-1. Saturday against the Sens, who they haven't beaten in regular season action since 2022. They come out and they dominate the Sens. They come out and they win 4-1. Caulfield gets 2 goals. Lane Hudson's also looking really good. Montembeau only let in a goal. So they're looking pretty decent. They look pretty decent against the Sens. I had Allmark was in it, so fuck you, Sens fans. Allmark got destroyed against my Canadians. And then yesterday, I was watching the first game on Amazon Prime between the Penguins and the Habs. Oh my goodness, terrible start from the beginning. But they ended up coming back. They were down 2-0 going to the first intermission or whatever. They come back and they score 3 unanswered to make it 3-2. Then Pittsburgh gets 4 unanswered against the Canadians. Chris Letang and Evgeny Malkin were the talk of the night. And same with Lars Eller, former Canadian, scored 2 fucking absolute nips.
That's nice.
I know,
Ew.
two nips, like unbelievable against his former team, one of his former teams. So 2-2 record so far. What do you think of the Canadians so far? And could they compete for the playoffs if they can stay at 500 till Line comes back? Question mark.
Okay. Okay. The fact you just said that so quick, just to get that in there. Yeah, I think I've watched the Habs so far, and my God, Lane Hudson, I actually really like. I tweeted this out yesterday. The way Lane Hudson skates and walks the line, the exact same way Makar walks the line and skates, and he really reminds me of Makar, just the way he just when he has the puck, just skating along the line, looking for a pass, looking for a shot, and I'm like, oh my God, like the similarities are extremely close. I like Lane Hudson. The Habs are really intriguing to watch. Like they're a fun team to watch, and because like they'll score goals. You'll have Montembeau who can have his day. The Habs can play defense, sort of like on their day, right? They start off 2-2, which I mean is better. Like I mean, you beat the Leafs, you beat the shitty Sens, and then you lose to the Bruins, okay, whatever, and then you lose to the Penguins, who are just a more veteran and more experienced team than the Habs anyway, right? So it was just gonna happen, right? So I think Habs fans should be happy with the way they've started. There's already progress so far in the young guys anyway, and Caulfield's looking like he's going to score arguably maybe 40 goals this season. So I mean, can't really complain from Habs fans. Like, you guys are mid so far, 2-2. Like, there's no problem with that. If you guys can stay 500, maybe a little bit over, maybe in a wild card hunt, and then Line comes back, then who knows? Maybe a playoff push is on the horizon for this year. But I mean, hey man, the Habs are there. Like they're even if they don't make the playoffs, they will be glad to play spoiler for other teams because I know for a fact at the end of the season, if they don't make playoffs, teams are not going to want to play this Montreal Canadiens team because this Canadiens team can be dangerous on their day, and they could play spoiler for a lot of teams if they play teams that are fighting for a playoff spot in the end. So I think Habs fans should be happy, and you know what? They're a fun watch. Like as a Leaf fan, like they're fun to watch. Like if I see a Habs game on, I'll be like, sure, like they're cool. Like as much as I hate them, like they're cool to watch. Like they're not like boring like the Islanders. It's like, oh my god, bro, like I'm gonna fall asleep. Like they're actually fun, like watch because they're a young team, right? So and maybe a playoff push is on the horizon. So
Yeah, that's like I really like what you said there about Hudson looking like Makar. He does look like Makar when he skates the line. My only thing is put him on fucking power play one. Get Matheson off
yeah,
power play one and put Lane Hudson on that first power play because I can see it right now. Hudson just sliding passes so slickly over to Caulfield, over to Suzuki, over to Doc, and then they're booming. The team's looking pretty decent. Caulfield, we already talked about. Slavkovsky's at a point per game. I'm liking his game so far. He's already at a point per game. Love to see that. Scored his first goal yesterday. I want to see more from Suzuki though. Suzuki did it. He had two. I think he had two assists
yeah,
yesterday. But I want to see him start to light up the lamp a bit more and take over games especially at the as that number one center. The rest of the team, Emil Heineman, another bright spot, another underrated piece there. Scored an absolute fucking wicked shot yesterday. He's got two goals in 3 or 4 games or something. So he's looking pretty good. Looking like another bright spot for that team. Dvorak looking all right, playing good defensive hockey. Newhook's looking decent. Uh, Brendan Gallagher, who I thought should retire or should have retired, as I said before, he's looking pretty good too. Like the team is not like overall the team's not looking bad at all. Like we're getting production from every single line. Every line is fighting hard, is pushing the puck hard. I don't really see any like bad. I just wish they were more consistent with their play. Don't wait. Don't let the first period be like. Don't wait until like the second period to compete in the hockey games. Like
yeah,
yesterday was just ridiculous. You got to play consistent hockey through each period, and yesterday was a prime example of why you should play consistent hockey because that's what ended up leading them to lose. If you got down 2-0 early in other games, yeah, you're going to lose. So if you play consistent hockey and you hold teams back and you play better throughout the whole game, you give yourself a better chance to win. And this is what the Canadian young squad's going to learn. Like they're like we said, they're one of the youngest teams in the NHL. I think the average age is like 25 throughout the whole roster. So they're going to learn. But yeah, I just want to see more from Suzuki. I want the power play to be better. I want Doc to start to take over games as well. And like you said, maybe they push for a wild card spot. They're right there, but and then Line comes in. I'm just like I was just thinking to myself yesterday as I watched the game, like, wow, we're playing really good and we don't even have Line yet. So just imagine when we get Line on that power play unit. Oh my goodness, man, that's the one guy we were missing, like a star like that. But yeah, they're looking pretty decent, and hopefully, Gold Caulfield gets 40 goals. He already has four more than Matthews, so we'll see what happens. But
let's see.
we'll see what happens with the Canadians. Let's go to our really, really good teams. Let's talk about Vegas first. We touched upon them in our Pacific Division preview, but the Vegas Golden Knights are looking really, really dangerous and looking to come back and take their Stanley Cup back
Yeah,
from the Panthers. Yeah, 3-0 start. Barbashev, Eichel leading the league in points right now. The defense is looking really good. Samsonov, after getting out of Toronto media, he comes into Las Vegas and is looking really good. Aiden Hill as well, looking really good. The team just looks good. Looks very good and dangerous. What are your thoughts?
yeah. They look well drilled and they're scoring goals for fun. It looks like. I mean, it doesn't really look like anyone's going to be able to stop them so far. I mean, Marchessault not being there doesn't really look like it's affecting them at all, especially with Stowe now being healthy. Again, the only thing that concerns me about this team is health. If Hurdle can stay healthy, if Eichel can stay healthy, if Stone can stay healthy, like if everyone can stay healthy, they'll be perfectly fine. And there really won't be any problems in Vegas. So as long as they can all stay healthy, just go out and fucking play, man. Because bro, these Vegas Golden Knights, bro, are a dangerous fucking team. Like it's just you have Eichel. Oh, okay. Well, we got to guard Eichel. Okay, well then you're gonna leave Stone open. Oh, you're gonna leave Stone open. Okay, we're gonna leave Barbashev. Oh, Stone. Okay, then we got Hurdle. You know, it's kind of just and Will Carlson hasn't even played yet, so he's got to get into a game as well eventually. And it's like then you have clappers from the point with Petrangelo and fucking Theodore and Hannafin is there. It's like oh my god, like is it gonna end? So it's like dude, Vegas,
we got to talk about Shea Theodore. I mean, he's looking really really good right now. He got
Norris.
couple multiple multi-goal games already in the first 3 games of the season. He's looking really good. Yeah, man, Vegas last year was a bit of a down year. Did they?
But that
Yeah,
was because of injury.
yeah, that's
That
because of
was that
injury.
was
They did also play the Dallas Stars in the first round, so fair enough. They did win the cup the year before, but however, I think this year is going to be different. They honestly could win the Pacific Division and compete for the Stanley Cup because their only competition to me, it seems, are the Dallas Stars. So, and if they can,
yeah.
other than that, I think the Golden Knights, if the Oilers are going to keep this up, probably walk all over this Pacific Division and run away with that title.
Yeah, they should. I want to talk about Utah. Just
Yeah,
for a quick second.
let's talk about Utah.
Utah I mean, man, early overreactions. I mean, Clayton Keller, definitely in the heart conversation for right now. It's only week 1, but I mean, the way he's just been playing, it's just been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, first center, I mean, first captain for Utah. I mean, he's just doing his thing. Dylan Gunther, currently has like 5 goals in like 4 fucking games. They went to New York. They fucking beat the Rangers in Madison Square Garden with a Keller goal in OT, game winner. They did get shut out yesterday by the Devils, but I mean they were gonna lose eventually, right? But I mean, hey man, early season, you know they're in a first inaugural season and they kind of cooking. So I'm here for it, man. Like Utah, Sergachev looking good on the first power play. Power play looks dangerous with Sergachev and Schmaltzy and Keller and Gunther. It's like, oh my goodness. But I mean, we'll see how long they can keep this up. But I mean, Utah's doing well, then we'll see.
Yeah, I was gonna say like if you know because it's their first season, right? Their first inaugural season. They could push for playoffs. I think they could push for
But
playoffs. They honestly like I had them. I think 6 in my Central Division previews. But honestly, I can see these guys competing for a wild card spot. Looking really good. Clayton Keller looking really good. Connor Ingram looking really good as their starting goalie. He's looked fine. The defense is pretty good. It's underrated, a matter of fact. I mean, Sergachev looking really good on that first power play. And yeah, I mean, they beat the Islanders, or they win their home opener against the Blackhawks, beat the Islanders in overtime. Then they beat the Rangers in overtime, and then get shut out by the Devils. But however, still looked really good. They weren't going to stay undefeated forever. Utah fans, you got a really good team. A team who could compete for playoffs. So who knows? Who knows what can happen if they get themselves in a decent spot come, I don't know, Christmas time? Who knows? We could be discussing that Utah
I
will
don't
make
got
the
the deadline.
playoffs.
Who
Exactly.
knows?
Maybe they'll be adding at the deadline. Who knows? Um, we'll talk about we already talked about the Flames being 3-0, how they look good. Another team 3-0 right now, the Winnipeg Jets, who we thought were the fraud squad. We're on fraud watch. Turns out that these guys are 3-0, one of the top teams in the league right now. Hellebuck's looked really good. Shifley's looking really good. Kyle Connor's looking really good. The team looks good overall, dude. And we were shitting on them not being probably them not making playoffs. That's where our predictions were. What do we think so far? Is this team still on fraud watch?
Yeah, they are. Again, it's only week 1. Let's not get ahead of ourselves now. The Winnipeg Jets haven't really like got my attention. Like, okay, you beat a Minnesota Wild team who were missing Eric Sinek, their first line center. So okay, cool. Yeah, sure, you go ahead and beat the Edmonton Oilers, but I mean, the Oilers haven't looked good at all throughout the season. So calm down, Jets fans. You guys are not that nice. And then you somehow squeak out a win against the fucking Chicago Blackhawks with Mark Scheifele scoring in the final like 5 seconds and then scoring an OT. So please, Jets fans, you guys are not nice. Okay, you're barely squeaking out wins. Okay, so don't even go there. Okay, you guys will not make playoffs. Okay, you guys can start off 3-0, which is perfectly okay. But once the season comes down to crunch time, you guys will not be in a playoff spot. Okay, so please, Jets fans, just humble yourself.
Damn, this guy does not like or fuck with the Winnipeg Jets at all. They are looking good. Who knows? Could they come back and make playoffs? I don't know. The team's looking really good. And if Scheifele can have one of those MVP kind of seasons, I mean, he's looking really good right now. The Jets have never really had a guy that could step up to that heart plate or be that number one guy across the league. So maybe this is the time where a guy like Scheifele comes in and just becomes one of their guys, one of the guys. He is one of the top scorers right now at 6 points. So something the Jets fans haven't seen in a while is like a really good star come in and just get a bunch of points. So maybe Scheifele could be that guy. But I don't know. I think the Jets are still on fraud watch. I mean, last year they looked really good, and then they ended up losing in 5 to the Avalanche. So it is only week 1, but they look decent at the moment. For how long? Who knows? I can't stand the Winnipeg Jets either. So yeah, I'm gonna say they're on fraud watch again, and they probably will
They will
be,
continue.
and they will continue to be.
Yes, they will not leave the list. They're number one on fraud watch. Number one.
Okay, and the final team that I want to really keep my eye on is the New Jersey Devils. Already on a really good 4-1 record. Only loss coming to the Toronto Maple Leafs last week. The Devils are still looking good after that bounce back loss. Keefe really sent a message to these guys, and yeah, they come out. They shut out the Utah Hockey Club, and they beat Washington in their home opener on Saturday. So yeah, New Jersey top of the league right now, four wins in 5 games. I expected this. We both expected this. We expect them to win the division. What are your thoughts on this team right now? The goal. I mean, they're getting goaltending, right? And they're getting scoring from all over the lineup.
Yeah. Paul Cotter, Nosen. Jack Hughes doesn't have a goal yet, but I mean, it doesn't matter because they're getting scoring from other players. Pratt scored. Myers scored. Simon Casey, defenseman, has like 3 goals.
Seamus Casey.
Yeah, I think what the fuck's happening? Dougie Hamilton doesn't even have a point yet. It doesn't seem to fucking matter. Because my God, Seamus had just come in and just pretty much done what Dougie Hamilton was supposed to do anyway. So I mean, Devils look good. Dev looks good. Once Jack Hughes and Hamilton starts getting points, it's going to be even more goals for this Devils team, and it just looked like on fire. So I mean, they lost to the Leafs, but I mean that was kind of like, well, is Keefe going to get the win against the Leafs, or will the Leafs beat Keefe? So it was like it was just storytelling at its finest.
They did also travel from Czechia all the way back to the States in that same week, playing 2 games, so they were probably a bit tired.
But I mean, hey, you bounce back being a decent Utah Hockey Club, and then you beat the Washington Capitals, who got better throughout the offseason. So I mean, hey man, Devils are there, they're cooking, and you know what? They're looking like the first place Metro team as we predicted. So.
Yeah, I want to touch upon Paul Cotter, who honestly could be a fucking 20-goal scorer if he wanted to. He's already at 4. So, and we're only 5 games in. So, you know what? The Devils are getting scoring from all over the lineup, which is amazing. I haven't seen a hockey team get scoring all over the lineup, especially when their stars aren't fucking doing anything. Like, Jack Hughes doesn't have a goal yet. That'll start to pick up. I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, this team is scary. This team is really scary. They still have to trade. They have the trade deadline. Oh my God! If I'm in the East, man, these guys are like, whoo. Yeah. Considering they're getting depth scoring, they're getting great defense, and they're getting good goaltending.
You don't want to face them. Yes. Oh my God. Nah.
And they have a decent backup goalie. Jake Allen got a shutout yesterday, so it's like, dude.
Which is the first player in history to get a win in like I guess 33
NHL franchises. Yeah, so he set a record there, but could have been but it's
wow.
I'm just like stressing if I'm in the Eastern Conference, if I got to play the New Jersey Devils right now. Like they are a good team, and they are a team to look out for.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I don't think we really have anything else. I mean, we quickly if you
was
that
great, but I mean that was gonna happen. Like Robertson's look good. Miro has no points so far, but I mean they'll probably pick up eventually. Otter just looks absolutely insane. DeSmith seems like to be a great pickup. He got a shutout in his first game. I mean, stars just kind of look like themselves, like how we predicted, right? Like Wayne Johnson has gone off to a good start. Like Stankoven's gone off to good. Like it's all what we said and predicted. Like, bro, these TV channels, bro, get us on, bro. Like we said this before the season. Like, bro, come on, bro. Show some respect on our names, bro. Like
Show some
AJ Sports
respect on our
Podcast,
names.
show some respect to the mans, bro. Like, come on. Like, this is ridiculous.
So week 1 point leaders. Let's go over that. Tied at 1, we got Panarin and Eichel at 7, and then we got a bunch of guys tied for second place. One of the guys in particular, Evgeny Malkin, at 6 points. What? Evgeny Malkin? I thought that guy was washed. Turns out he's tied for second in the NHL with points.
Oh,
So he's looking pretty good. So Panarin and Eichel standing on top. Very surprising considering we have McKinnon, Matthews, and McDavid in this league. And these guys barely have any points. Yeah, I'll talk about the start quickly. The Stars are not looking great right now. McDavid, Matthews, and McKinnon, top 3 in the league. Like we already discussed earlier, that it's gonna take some. Even Draisaitl,
like,
yeah, not looking great either. It's just right now the Stars, they gotta start clicking, man, because especially for those teams that rely so heavily on their point production too, it's really gonna fuck
yeah,
them up if they're not getting the typical point production from their top guys. But like we said, it's only a couple games in. They're gonna find their groove a little bit. Tonight starts with Edmonton. Hopefully tomorrow with the Avalanche against the Bruins, and then the Leafs with the Kings. But I wouldn't be too worried about the Stars not showing up yet because we're only a few games in, and it's gonna start really soon for these guys.
yeah. But yeah.
And
Mm,
that is where we are going to end the podcast. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this episode. Leave a like, subscribe, tell your friends. Like I said earlier, Justin and I will be at the game tomorrow, LA versus Toronto, at the Scotiabank Arena. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of a live stream going with that. But don't want to use too much of our data, right? Because unless we can get free Rogers internet. But yeah, we will try and get a live stream going, even if it's for a little bit. And yeah, so we'll see you guys tomorrow at the Toronto Maple Leafs game. Leave your predictions down below, and we'll see you guys on the next pod. Take care and peace.